Remember Khosla Ka Ghosla? That 2006 cult classic didn't just entertain. It exposed the unscrupulous broker, the smooth-talking middleman who would sweet-talk people out of their life savings. It was a hit because it held a mirror to a reality and a truth every Indian home buyer knew about. But fast forward to 2025, and today's broker is armed with analytics, transaction histories, and market intelligence. Even though the old mistrust hasn't fully disappeared, especially in the resale market, today's broker's role has undeniably evolved from a smooth-talking hustler to a legitimate partner in the home buying and decision-making process. Today, we will be speaking to someone who deals in premium to luxury real estate and pre-launch sales. His clients includes everyone from the HNI to the NRI to the upwardly mobile home buyer and everyone in between. Meet Gaurav Mavi, founder of BOP, one of the fastest growing real estate consultancies with a large volume of projects in North India in the residential space and also commercial real estate. So Gaurav, let's start on a positive note.
What an introduction.
Let's start with something positive, that is the GST. A lot of chatter about how the Goods and Services Tax Council has, given what many would call as a Diwali bonanza. Cement, which was taxed earlier at a steep 28% coming down to 18%. Likewise, so many commodities. But is it going to be a win-win only for the developer? The billion-dollar question is, will it lead to sort of cheaper homes for the home buyer?
No, actually, it is a relief to the developer because there's a huge, construction cost is going up day by day.
Yeah.
But if you talk about client's perspective, then the GST, which is 5%, which the client has to pay when they buy a home, that needs to go to zero.
Okay.
So when that happens, that is when the client will get the benefit out of it.
Okay. So
Till
no relief really passed on to
it
the
is for
customer.
the developers. Their cost has reduced with the GST decline from 28 to 18%.
Okay. Nonetheless, it will improve the sentiment, let's say, in the market.
Yeah, I mean, if the builder is happy, they will do faster construction. So it is, in a way, there is no direct linkage to the client, but for the developer, it is a benefit.
Okay. So, as a real estate consultant, Gaurav, you connect the dots between a builder and a buyer. In that there is a builder who creates a home, there's a buyer who buys the home, and you facilitate that transaction.
Yeah.
What is a kind of a reasonable and also an unreasonable demand that the home buyers should be having?
Buyer, when it comes to a consultant, he expects a right information.
Yeah.
The buyer expect us to tell them, guide them, and show them the right property. It is actually a process wherein a client tells about their actual requirement, and every client has a different requirement. There is no set rule to buy a property.
Correct.
We have to, in BOP, we spend a lot of time discussing the requirement of the home buyer, and then we tell the home buyer what to buy.
Right.
So it is a complete process.
So tell me about BOP. When did you start? What was the founding vision? How has your things evolved over the years with the changing customer expectations and all of that?
See, we started in 2006. That time, real estate was very different. There was no Instagram. There was no digital platform.
Right.
People used to buy property through their brokers, who they know from years.
And word of mouth recommendation.
Yeah, so it was more of a word of mouth selling.
Right.
So then we came up with the consultancy firm where we had 200 agents who were working for us.
Yeah.
So it was a difficult task to give that transparency to the clients who are coming to buy their home.
Correct. Yeah.
But with time, with all the process we followed, people have shown their trust. People have shown have supported us completely throughout the journey. And now, a lot of things have changed. Now it is digital. Everyone is more educated now. They have the right questions to ask. They are well informed now.
Yeah.
So a lot of things have changed.
So in the last, let's say almost 20 years, 19 years to be precise, have the demand of the customers radically changed? What they expect a broker to know and show?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much competition. If you are not smart, the buyer goes to another person.
Right.
Everyone is available over the digital platform.
Yes.
So you have to be smart, you have to be informed, you have to give them the right product as per their choice. It is very competitive now. It has become very easy. RERA has come in place. There's this website of RERA where you can refer and take all the information. So things are very transparent and competitive now.
So, Gaurav, a lot of your transactions happen in the premium to luxury space. But what exactly is luxury? It is such a used and overused term. And what is luxury at 5 crore, at 10 crore or 100 crore? Let's take the example of home turf, Delhi NCR region. And how do we, what is there in a 10 crore property which is not there in a 4 to 5 crore property?
I think it's a myth. Luxury is not defined by the price tag.
Okay.
Every person has a different parameter of luxury. For someone, a luxury would be bigger house. For someone, a luxury would be more greener spaces in the township. For someone, it would be something else. There will be world-class amenities would be a luxury for someone. So it is important to understand your requirement, what you're actually looking for. That defines luxury. So there is no set rule for luxury and no price tag can define luxury.
But the location, I think, really changes the paradigm of costs and economics.
Yeah, that is linked to the cost because land cost is linked to the location.
Right.
But you could drive 10 kilometers away from the prime location and find a good luxurious project where you get all the amenities. But there's a project where there are 3,000 homes and a big clubhouse. That would be a luxury. But for someone who is not so social and want a privacy, then for that person, a 100-unit project would be a luxury.
Yeah, I think well said. I think well articulated. That point is well taken. So Gaurav, what about the overhead costs? Like you have registration cost, the stamp duty. Let's say if I buy an apartment for rupees 2 crore, and but there are a lot of other costs that I should be prepared for. So can you tell our viewers what exactly are those costs and what percentage of the property should one be prepared to budget for over and above the capital value?
See, post RERA, all the other charges, it is old practices which are now over.
Yeah.
All the other charges are any which ways included in the builder-buyer agreement, which is commonly known as BBA.
Yes.
So all those charges are already there, and anyone who is claiming anything other than those charges, then one should not agree on that. And there is the RERA code which you can go to. But there are some GST and stamp duties which you have to pay. So the stamp duty ranges from 6 to 7%, actually 6% plus 1%. And GST is 5%.
Okay.
That is the additional cost which you have to pay other than the recurring cost.
Okay. So but please explain that bit about stamp duty and registration being factored into the builder-buyer agreement.
No, so the stamp duty is when you get your property registered.
Yes.
That is the additional cost of approximately 7%.
Okay.
So that cost you have to bear other than the property cost because that is what you have to give to the authority. Plus, on every payment you have to add a GST of 5% or as per the prevailing GST rate. Till now it is 5%.
Okay, Gaurav, let's focus on the topic of loading because developers sell dreams in super built-up area and the buyer buys, lives and stays in carpet area, and between that there's a gap called loading. Now that is only increasing. There was a time it was 30%, now it's literally going through the roof, even 40%. Now, would I like an Olympic-sized pool or would I rather prefer 100 extra square feet in my own apartment? That is the kind of thing that I want you to share some insight as to what kind of loading percentage is a red flag. Is anything beyond 30% really something that buyer should be alert about?
So you have to actually check the plans.
Okay.
If there's a core, every floor has number of apartments. So if there are 6 units on a floor, then the loading would be divided among those 6 units. So in that scenario, 30% loading is what it should be.
Okay.
But when you go to the bigger size configuration where there are only 2 units on a floor, then all the common areas are divided among those 2 units. Because of which the loading goes up. So if there is an apartment which is 2 to the core, there 40% is justified.
Okay.
But if there are 6 units or 8 units, so the number of units on each floor decreases the loading. So it actually depends, because you have to give 2 staircases for the fire norms.
Yeah.
You have to have the lift lobby. You have to have a the common area in front of the lobby.
Yeah.
So all of that area takes a lot of loading factor.
Yes. What about a gated community with 100 odd apartments?
Clubhouse is not a big factor in terms of loading. It is more to do with the configuration on the floor.
So, let's also focus on the pre-launch sales, because that is an area of expertise, I've been told, of BOP. Is there a right time in the real estate cycle to buy? What are the risks and rewards of investing in pre-launches?
See, post-RERA, there is no pre-launches.
Yeah.
The pre-launches are not allowed. It was the time when before the approvals sales starts. But now you can only start selling the project when you have the RERA approval. But at the same time, if you have people like us as your friend, then you get to have the right information at the right time. Because what happens is the developer, whenever they come up with the project, they have to test the market. In order to test the market, they come to us. They give us the price, which is the early price. So that early price, we give it to our investors and closed network people, and then they enter into that project on an early price. The price you get to know from the market is the second price.
Absolutely.
So that is where the client benefits, because that is the price benefit they get when they work with us.
Okay, so that's the value add that a BOP would typically add. Okay. When you buy luxury, it's never a one-time expense. There's a price at which you buy the property, and there's a recurring cost. Say if I buy a luxury car, I should be prepared for 1 lakh a month as maintenance. Likewise, for a luxury apartment, anybody who's investing in a luxury apartment should be prepared to budget for how much cost on a regular basis.
Should not just be prepared, should be willing to, and should be happy to pay those expenses. Because see, you mentioned car, building also have a recurring cost. You have to whitewash the exterior of the building every 3-4 years. You need a manned security. You need cleaning in the common areas. So if you buy a luxury apartment, it should range between 3 to 5 rupees a square feet.
Okay.
If you are going in an affordable segment, it should range between 2 to 3 rupees.
Okay.
But if someone is not charging the maintenance, then may God be with you, that building won't be maintained.
Is not maintained. Is it little high on the higher side in Gurgaon? I think Gurugram is 5 to 6 in certain condominiums, if I'm not mistaken.
It is similar everywhere, because there are professional companies who are now maintaining the projects. So the cost is same. Actually, what depends is the kind of project. If there is more, say on a golf course. So golf property would be about 8 rupees, because maintaining a golf course is more of a cost.
Energy intensive.
So it is more dependent on the common areas they have. If you have more common areas, if the club is huge, then there will be more maintenance. So it depends on project to project basis, but the average 3 to 5 rupees is, on say 98% of the projects, this is the cost which developer charges.
Let's also look at the NRI market. That's a very big segment of where BOP advises. So Gaurav, what is the kind of tips that or advice that you can give to the NRI viewers in terms of which kind of projects they should invest in? Do you also manage their assets? Because one of the biggest pain points, and we always, when we are having conversation with the NRIs, that's a typical recurrent problem that they speak about, that nobody to manage our assets. Is that also that's something that you take care of? But first, what is the advice that you can give to the NRIs?
See, since they are abroad, they should only go for A-grade developers where there is trust, they have their past experiences. So
credible brands, big brands.
They should stick to those developers, because they don't know the day-to-day news about those developers who are just nurturing now. So they should stick to A-grade developers, and they should have a good consultant for them, because for them they need a local player who works for them, managing the property, putting it on lease, giving the payments to the developer, if they need an exit, they will also do the exit for them. They will resell their property. So they need a good consultant. And of course, we are into this business, and we have a lot of clients from Singapore, Gulf, US, Canada, and we manage their properties.
You think there's a big market out there for real estate consultancies to be managing the assets, especially of the NRIs?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, managing is a very broad term.
Yeah.
Like you
Buy, sell, maintain.
Yeah, buy, sell, lease.
Yeah.
Look after their properties, do the documentations for them.
Correct.
There's a huge demand, and the demand is growing with this US issues going on with Indians in America
Coming back.
Then they now realize that this is not a home.
Yeah.
So
Reverse
that is
brain
one.
drain.
Then Singapore has a heavy surcharge on non-Singaporeans to buy property in Singapore.
Yes.
So a lot of that factors are adding, and Indians will always buy a house in India. It is a very emotional thing for them to do. They have their family here. They have to be real estate in where they belong.
Yeah, and a home at the end of the day is all about security, not just brick and mortar. So, selling a property is a nightmare. Every time you have to sell, you are told there is a certain price, and every time you have to buy, the price is escalated manifold. And also the lack of liquidity that happens in the selling market. There's a lot of talk when we talk about real estate consultants about buying, but what about selling real estate? How is that market evolving? And also, most of the sellers are not even informed about, it's not just the price, which is the point of negotiation. There is a cash to check component, which is a given in this market. There is a time taken, which has to be under control and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on the selling market?
See, if someone buy a property through us, we give them exit. The only thing people have to keep in mind is they have to be patient about it.
Okay.
If you want to sell today, you won't get the right price.
What is patience? How many months?
I mean, I would say typically 6 months is what you should look for. I mean, if you choose to buy property today, you should be patient for next 6 months.
Okay.
Because if we sell that with the force, then you won't get the right price. Strange part is we give about 50% of our home buyers exit through us in say 2 to 3 years.
Okay. I think that's fair and reasonable. 6 months waiting time and that kind of patience is kind of what you have to prepare yourself for if you're
to
investing.
Get the right price. We can sell it in a week's time also, but then you would compromise on your price.
Right.
You won't get the right price.
Okay. Finally, Gaurav, in this segment, any memorable client story, something that really moved you, which you would like to share?
So related to this exit, I will tell you, there was this client 10 years back. So this home buyer bought a property through us.
Okay.
But due to some financial stress, he was not able to pay the installments to the developer, and there was this cancellation letter with him and all. So they informed us, and we get to know from the developer. So we gave them an exit, and he was not expecting that exit. So at that point in time, he was thinking that my money which I have paid to the developer, I will not be able to take it back because I have defaulted.
Okay.
But instead of that, he got an appreciation over the property, and he sold that.
Oh, he must be delighted.
He is delighted. He's a very good friend now.
Okay.
And from last 9 years, he has been investing every year with us.
Oh, wonderful.
So that trust and that confidence is what we gained from that transaction.
Well, from a first-time buyer to a lifelong client, that's what you earned with this. दिवाली के शुभ अवसर पे घर खरीदना सबसे एक रैम्पेंट ट्रेडिशन है. तो कहाँ खरीदना चाहिए? आप तो डील ही करते हैं प्रॉपर्टीज में, तो आप कुछ बताएंगे?
जी, सो मेरे को लगता है अभी एज ऑफ नाउ, सिंस यू नो न्यू airport is coming up, Noida airport.
Yes.
So all the development near Noida airport is gonna go up like anything. तो आपको अगर घर खरीदना है, क्योंकि लोगों को लगता है आज के टाइम पे कि यमुना एक्सप्रेसवे पे हम अगर कोई प्रॉपर्टी खरीदते हैं तो वो बहुत दूर है, कौन जाएगा वहाँ. बट मेरे को ये लगता है कि इन कमिंग टाइम हर कोई आदमी ये कहेगा कि नोएडा एयरपोर्ट से आपका घर कितना दूर है. जो एपी सेंटर है वो ही शिफ्ट हो जाएगा, बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज हैपनिंग around Noida airport. All the connectivity is happening. All the rail system, all the new age transportation is being planned around the airport. So all big development is happening there. So if you have to buy a home, then buying anything near the upcoming Noida airport would be advisable. It is
आँख बंद करके कोई भी खरीद
बंद करके वहाँ आप कुछ भी ले लीजिए. You cannot go wrong.
Okay. And is the investors market back? एक समय था जब सिर्फ घर खरीदा इसलिए जाता था कि वहाँ रहेंगे, लेकिन अब जैसे इन्वेस्टमेंट पोटेंशियल बहुत जगह का बढ़ रहा है, तो आपको लगता है कि इन्वेस्टर्स मार्केट इज बैक एंड हाउ?
Investor market was always there. What people do गलत is they invest and think कि वो इन्वेस्टमेंट करते ही ना हमारे को रिटर्न मिलना शुरू हो जाएगा. अब क्या है, टेन्योर बढ़ गया है, वो वाला टाइम जा चुका है कि आपने आज बुकिंग लगाई और आप 2 महीने बाद एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि आपको रिटर्न चाहिए.
करेक्ट.
वो नहीं है. तो द होल्डिंग टाइम हैज टू बी एटलीस्ट 2 years. उससे पहले वो आता नहीं है आपको. वो return on your investment will not come in less than 2 years.
Okay, so commercial real estate by far gives the best returns in the industry, way better than residential. But आपके हिसाब से क्या हर residential buyer को, home buyer को कुछ ना कुछ commercial real estate में भी invest करना चाहिए?
Commercial real estate बहुत अच्छा return देता है. Because see, residential के अंदर it is only the price increase.
Yes.
Commercial में it is the price increase plus the rentals.
Yes.
Residential में you won't get that kind of rentals which you will get in commercial.
But the large capital, the long waiting period, this is what puts off people typically from and refrain from investing in commercial real estate.
Commercial के अंदर you have to wait. If you invest in commercial, don't expect anything coming back to you till you get the possession and the commercial is ready to be leased or it is leased.
So what is the smallest capital size that I should have कि मैं सोच भी सकूं मैं commercial real estate में करूंगी invest?
आज के समय पे तो residential से कम ticket size पे commercial पे आप invest कर सकते हैं. It starts from 1 crore.
Okay.
That depends आपको कितना बड़ा area लेना है, but you could buy an office under 1 CR.
Okay. And how does commercial real estate offline property how does that compare with REITs? Because REITs is now at the click of the mouse.
I think it is a marketing gimmick right now. जो आपका है वो आपका है.
Okay. So you're the traditional offline real estate consultant who believes in what you see is what you get.
जिस जगह सोसाइटी में 4 गाड़ियां खड़ी होने पे लड़ाई हो रही है, वहां अगर 500 ओनर्स एक साथ होंगे, may God be with them.
Yeah. Gaurav, we'll jump into the rapid fire segment. It is a quick fire set of questions which invite more of instinct than calibrated response. So to start with, should real estate brokers stay accountable post sale, post possession?
I think our job starts after sale till possession. Our actual work starts from then.
Okay, and what is that?
I mean, we are not here to just sell.
Yes.
The actual job starts when you sell. You have to give them, send them updates on the development of the construction. You have to collect payments from them. You have to make sure the BBA is signed, the builder buyer agreement is signed by both the parties. You have to be there for their possession day.
So what percentage of real estate brokers would be following this, what you are saying?
I would say broker word is a brokerage thing.
Yeah.
It is a transactional thing.
Yes.
So that's the difference between a broker and a consultant.
Right.
So broker is defined for the transaction, wherein the consultant has to be with the client for the complete tenure of their investment.
The entire life cycle, let's say, of the transaction.
Yes.
Can a home buyer ask for papers to be shown, like title deeds, occupancy certificates from the developer?
I would ask, why should an investor or a home buyer not ask for the title documents?
And
it
how
is
many?
There on RERA website, but
Yeah.
hardly people go to the website and check the title. That
Okay.
is the problem. But everything is there on RERA website these days.
Okay. But how many developers would be willing to show, and how many brokers, real estate consultants would be able to convince the developers to
If a
show?
developer is refusing to show, then it's a red flag.
Okay.
It is their obligation to show all the title documents and everything.
By far, what has been the most unrealistic expectation people have had from real estate consultants in India?
To get all the commission with the consultant gets and still serve them for years till possession.
Okay. Okay, one thing that sets apart BOP की खास बात या USP क्या है?
BOP.in, we are focused in making relationships rather than transactions. We are very relationship based company.
Yeah.
We with every transaction we would want that client to become a friend.
Okay, and that's the nature of the business also, I believe.
That is what real estate is.
Is
it
all
is
about.
so emotional. It is so pure.
Yeah.
So when you are open to your client, you make them as your friend, you make them as your family. That is when business grows, and that is the warmth which a home buyer needs.
Yes.
In today's market.
एक आदमी आज की डेट में हिंदुस्तान में कितने लगभग घर खरीद लेता है? क्योंकि एक समय था, अभी भी कोई सीमेंट का ऐड आता है कि पूरी जैसे कि जीवन की पूंजी आपने एक घर में लगा दी और जिस घर से आए उसी से विदा हुए, दैट काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. बट दैट इज नो लॉन्गर ट्रू. यू हैव अ फर्स्ट स्टार्टर होम एंड देन अ लाइफस्टाइल होम एंड देन अ एस्पिरेशनल होम. सो टिपिकली इन योर एक्सपीरियंस, Gaurav, how many homes does a home buyer buy in India on an average today? In the segment that you are dealing with?
There are only 10% of people who buy, multiple assets.
Okay.
And it is not just buying multiple assets, it is rotating, flipping those assets.
Okay, yeah.
They buy the property, they sell that property, then they buy another property.
Or they consolidate everything and buy a much bigger luxury home.
Then they become Ambani ji.
What has been the funniest demand you've ever had from anyone?
Funniest demand, there's this guy from Banaras who insisted that I will only give the booking with the complete puja happening in your office. So we had one.
To organize the puja and everything.
So we had a small puja while handing over the application form and check. We did that.
Okay, so was it a big ticket size of apartment?
No, it was very small. It is just that when you get a strange kind of request, तो लोग गृह प्रवेश तो कराते ही हैं.
Yes.
But आप जब चेक काट रहे हो, जब आपको थोड़ी सी पूजा करनी है, it's nice. I mean,
interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting and it is good.
If you can do, why not do it?
Yeah, it's not much of an effort.
Do you foresee a time when homes will be sold online and something like an Amazon of real estate?
This should not happen, and I don't think it will happen because see, buying a home has to be very informed decision.
Yes.
You have to go to the site. You have to check all the neighborhood around where you are buying the house. You have to check the title documents. So there's a lot of things which you have to do on ground.
Right. So do you think both those markets will coexist? ये दोनों markets साथ साथ चलेंगी जिसमें eventually home transaction marketplace will come in online and there will be an offline capability?
I would say online is information.
Okay.
You gather the information online, checking out what's happening in the market. You gather all the information online.
That is now. I'm talking about the future. 5 years, 7 years, 10 years.
It could happen, but still it will be an offline and an online thing. You could do a transaction online.
Yeah.
But it is not that the entire process is happening online.
Of course not. Of course not.
Even now it is happening online. All the RTGS or all the online payments are happening online.
Yeah.
But then there is a process of finding out about the property. You cannot find out the location. You cannot feel the location online.
Yeah, and it's so much of capital is at stake that it has to have an offline interaction.
We do a lot of VCs with our clients, showing them the property and everything. But mostly all the decision happens when they come to the site.
So with the coming of AI, what is the role of real estate consultants like BOP going to evolve into?
AI can give you data. We can give you wisdom.
Okay, so the nuggets of wisdom is what the real estate consultants and the market intelligence, the pre-launches and all of that. What about the time taken for construction? With the coming of technology, it's also impacting the construction timelines. Developers do promise 3 years currently. On an average, how much time are they taking?
I would say if a developer says 3 years, it should be considered as 5 years, because the normal time to complete a project is typically 5 years. Actually, you can do it in 3 years, but there are so much, but the weather does not allow you.
Yeah.
At times there are pollution, environment ban, this and that. So with factoring all of that, it at least takes 4 to 5 years for project from green to complete.
So, what about women investing in real estate? There's a lot of talk about women being, properties being registered in their name. Is it just on paper? Are they the ones financing it also? Are they equal owners? What is your experience?
The number is going up. There's about 15% of buyer registries or ownership is being held with the women. But most importantly, what I feel is about 90% of the purchase happens with the consultation with the woman of the house.
Okay. I'd also like to bring up the subject of the Sanjay Kapoor property battle. And one of the major issues is the ambiguity about a will. How much of a strong legal department do you have, Gaurav, with you, real estate consultants like you? And how much do you also advise beyond just transacting, selling and buying about making a will to your clients?
I mean, one should be prepared always. There should be a will, but even if there is no will, there is set rule to divide the properties among the family. So but those, previously it was very difficult because families were huge. Now with the smaller families, it is not much of a issue these days. Earlier there used to be 3 पीढ़ियों का हिसाब नहीं हुआ है and all of that, because of which there were various fights happening among the family. अब छोटी फैमिली होती जा रही है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ विच मेरे को नहीं लगता कि ज्यादा कुछ इशू है. बट
जिस समय कोई खरीदता है घर और उस वक्त आप बोलते हैं कि आप ये विल में इंक्लूड करिए ये डिटेल,
बुरा मान जाएंगे
बिकॉज लाइफ इज अनसर्टन एंड 50s you see so many of these absolute tragedies happening. So is there a sort of a push to also be more practical about such things?
When you are buying property, that means you are active.
Yeah.
You're adding more properties.
Yes.
So that will thing happens later. From my end, I have not seen any person who is discussing will while buying a property. Normally what they do is you add a co-applicant.
Yeah.
So one property there is a co-applicant of one son, and in another property there is another son as a co-applicant, and one there is a daughter who is a co-applicant. So that is a better way of you predefine that this property would go to you.
Well, that's an important thing, that you keep a second person nominee,
so you can
or
have,
some.
No, not the nominee. You can have a second applicant.
A co-applicant.
Yeah, co-applicant.
Yeah. I think that really makes sense.
Yeah.
So what is the average age of the home buyer, Gaurav, amongst the people who come to you? What is the average age?
I would say the average age is between 35 to 40 years.
Okay. 3 cities are big bets when it comes to real estate.
See, any city where there is airport coming or big infrastructure, expressway is coming, people should stick to it. Agra ले लीजिए, लखनऊ हो गया, फिर Indore is a very big market. Navi Mumbai is growing a lot with new airport coming up.
Yeah.
So all of these cities are in demand.
Okay.
So it is linked to the development actually.
Yeah. So, other than residential, there's also data center, warehousing, the new emerging asset classes. Do you think the typical high risk taking real estate investor should also look at that?
Yeah, it is a very good investment option for an investor, but then it is not just the land you have to buy, you have to develop it as well. And they are huge projects.
Okay.
So if you are deep pocketed and you have good money to invest, and then you have to make the warehouse. The warehouse in itself is huge cost.
Yeah.
You cannot make a small warehouse. You have to make a big warehouse.
So that's huge capital, huge cost, and
huge
I meant a consortium of investors. Clearly nobody has that kind of money amongst the normal people, but
yeah, it's a good asset class where one could invest, because there are a
Yes.
lot of with this deliveries happening and everything.
yeah,
There are a lot of warehousing requirement we keep getting
yes.
from the market.
So, luxury buyer versus the first time buyer, and you get them both when you're consulting. What is the difference in their mindset?
The first home buyer is more, or rather I would say should be more focused on the security of the delivery of the project. They come to us that they want a luxurious house, but they end up buying something where they feel they are safe, the investment is safe.
Right.
Because end of the day वही है उनके पास, उनका पहला ही अगर experience खराब हो गया, so
A roof over their head, literally, and
yeah, so they would go for a very vanilla kind of a project जो जल्दी deliver हो जाए और closer to possession हो, because they are
Yeah.
eager to go to their own house. They are paying rent somewhere.
yes,
They don't want a scenario जहाँ की EMI भी चल रही है, किराया भी चल रहा है और घर मिला नहीं.
हाँ,
Which
fair
happened pre-RERA with a lot of people.
yeah.
The
So
logo
that
ne-
is about the first time buyer.
जी.
And what about the luxury home buyer who's purchasing a second or a third home from you?
सी अब फर्स्ट होम बायर का भी कॉन्सेप्ट चेंज हो गया है अभी. इफ यू लुक एट इट, अब आप सिंगापुर चले जाएं या दुबई चले जाएं, फॉर दैट मैटर, आप दुबई में देखिए द लग्जरी डेफिनेशन हैज चेंज्ड.
Okay.
We are on a very basic luxury segment currently. In fact, in last 2 years, there are a lot of projects which were in a luxury category, but they have not delivered. So people have not seen actual luxury in the Indian market.
So what is your benchmark of luxury, Gaurav? How would you define luxury? Which project in the world, in the global real estate, would be emblematic of luxury?
As I told you, it's very subjective.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you see something,
Yeah,
then that is when you want that thing.
yeah,
So a lot of people who are already settled in their home, when they see another project where they get something extra,
yes,
when they see and get impressed with that common facilities, or the kind of reception they have, heated pool, when they see a state of art gymnasium in any of the society, that is when they redefine their luxury and they retarget themselves, and then they buy that property. So it is very subjective.
Okay. What do you think of the EWS housing? They are part of luxury condominiums, and often it's a hogwash. What is a better way to navigate the issue of social housing, according to you?
It should not be part of the same gated community.
Yeah.
It should be differently placed near to the gated community.
And that's more practical.
That is more practical. In Noida, there are 3 authorities: Noida, Greater Noida, and Yamuna Authority.
Yes.
In these 3 authorities, there are hardly any EWS, because authority make EWS for the weaker section.
Okay.
It is not with the developer to make it. So here there is no EWS. But yes, in other places like Gurgaon,
Yeah.
we have to make EWS, and you should do a different boundaries for those segments, and you should keep it within the complex,
So that it caters to them, and at the same
they
time,
also, they
it
also
is practical.
they also get their specific location.
So, second last question, the best thing about Indian real estate?
In India, real estate demand is eternal. It will never end,
Okay.
because in India it is not real estate. Ghar hai. It is very emotional,
Yes.
and everyone wants it.
Okay.
So-
And if you were to change one thing about real estate and you were Aladdin ka jinn, Abra ka dabra, what is that one thing जो आप change करना चाहेंगे Indian real estate के बारे
Ease
में?
of buying and selling properties.
Okay.
If you buy a share, it becomes very easy through a demat.
Yes.
If we somehow can do that,
Yeah.
it would really change everything.
A broker can make the deal or break the deal. In today's complex real estate landscape, where every square foot counts and every clause matters, the role of a broker isn't just that of a middleman. In fact, he is a bridge between an informed decision and a costly mistake. So, on that note, thank you very much, Gaurav, for sharing the inside view of the roles and responsibilities of the brokers, and for all those listening. I hope we can think a little more and make the right choices before we sign on the dotted line. Brick by brick, deal by deal, make the right choices. Thank you.
Thank you.